Dear students, a very good morning to all of you. This is Dr. Ajay Kumar. I will be dealing today with steam turbine. The whole PDF material I have taken as a scanned copy from my book Thermal and Fluid Power Engineering. So in this steam turbine, as you know, steam turbine is a rotary device where a rotor is assembled with a wheel and turbine blades. Why steam turbine is introduced? Though is a prime mover which produces power rather than a reciprocating device like say steam engine. So we should know that all rotary machines are having more efficiency than a reciprocating machine like a steam engine. So a brief sketch let me draw for a steam turbine. Here this is your blade of steam turbine. This part is a wheel. Let me draw another blade. Let's say it's like this. This is a wheel shaft. This part is your wheel. This is your shaft. This shaft goes outside like this. The steam which enters between two consecutive blades coming from a nozzle like this. Here steam enters between these two blades. Let us say blade 1 and 2. These two consecutive blades are there, and after entering in the space of these two consecutive blades, this steam goes out, and henceforth this whole wheel rotates in this direction. That is, this shaft rotates like this. When this shaft is attached to a electrical generator. This is your shaft. This is your electrical generator. So this mechanical power is converted into electrical power, and henceforth we get electricity. So here in this steam turbine we are focusing about this thickness of steam turbine. Thickness of steam turbine blade. This is your blade. This is your thickness. Like say here also, this is the thickness of the blade. You might have observed wing of aircraft that is of aerodynamic shape. that shape is more or less like this. So further we will be taking blade profile of types of steam turbine. So first, here written difference between impulse and reaction turbine. The word impulse and reaction. So let me introduce the word impulse and reaction. Impulse word and reaction word, where from they come. So dear students, you will be knowing according to Newton's law of motion, force is equal to mass into acceleration. This mass written already, this acceleration is, we can say, dv upon dt. Let us say acceleration unit, what we write, let us say 50 meter per second square. Can we write like say meter per second divided by second. So this meter per second is your velocity and this is your time, and henceforth we can write dv upon dt. Now this f into dt is equal to now m into dv. So dear students, this m into dv is called impulse and f into dt is called impulsive force. Impulsive force. So when a force F acts on blade for a very short period dt, an impulse is created to get a motion, to get a speed in the rotor or shaft of the turbine. So with this concept it is mentioned over here. Now why reaction? Reaction what is written over here? As you know, according to Newton's third law of motion, each force has an reaction from opposite side. Each reaction has equal and opposite reaction from the point where the force is acting. So due to that force, this reaction word is introduced over here. So as a type of steam turbine, mainly we get impulse and reaction turbine. So here there is a difference between impulse and reaction turbine as far as blade profile is concerned. So dear students, here this is a blade profile of impulse turbine and here there is a blade profile of reaction turbine. So let us see. Written constant pressure, constant passage area of flow. Steam enters in this way, it goes out. Just watch, between these two consecutive blades, this passage area throughout same, and henceforth there is no any difference of pressure of steam right from this section 1 and this section 2. I had shown the previous figure of a sketch of impulse turbine. At the entry point section is 1 and at the outlet point is your section 2. Now in impulse turbine, since the pressure remains constant throughout at the inlet and outlet of the blade, then question arises where enthalpy drop comes from, because if you apply your Mollier chart, due to pressure difference we get enthalpy. So then it is told, first let us start with nozzle. Steam comes from boiler, enters to this nozzle part, and then from this nozzle steam is supplied at very high velocity, and then it glides in between two consecutive blades of steam turbine. It means there is a huge enthalpy drop in the nozzle part, right, since velocity is more over here compared to at the inlet. So if pressure decreases and velocity increases, and henceforth there is a great enthalpy drop taking place in nozzle only. So as a conclusion we can say that there is no enthalpy drop in moving blade of impulse turbine. Whole enthalpy drop takes place in the nozzle now. Whereas in reaction turbine, look at here now, in reaction turbine that blade profile is the different one, and moreover if you look at here, between two consecutive blades the pressure passage area keeps on decreasing. Passage area between two consecutive blades keeps on decreasing. Henceforth this reaction turbine blade itself acts as a nozzle. So here pressure decreases as you move in the positive direction, and at the same time if pressure decreases velocity increases. So this is main difference between impulse turbine and reaction turbine. So we can say nozzle is introduced in impulse turbine but not in case of reaction turbine. In reaction turbine, blade profile or set of blades itself act as a nozzle. So this is main difference between impulse turbine and reaction turbine. Yeah. So now, dear students, let us move to now compounding of impulse turbine. Why the word written compounding? Compounding in the sense, suppose if you take a simple impulse turbine, like the example is written here, D level. He was inventor to introduce a simple impulse turbine. Simple impulse turbine means it has a only one set of nozzle and one set of moving blade mounted on a same shaft. Now, if steam pressure coming from boiler is, let us say, about 100 to 130 bar, right? That is in only one stage. Velocity of jet could be more than 150 meter per second. At this pressure, velocity could be 150 meter per second. And at the same time, turbine speed will be as high as 30,000 rpm, which is really not suitable for any electrical generator. And henceforth, you should arrange a device in such a way that anyhow turbine speed should not exceed this 30,000 rpm. It means we should decrease this speed with help of gearbox. But there is a problem in introducing gearbox, and henceforth it was decided, why not, let us say I am drawing a figure like this. This is your single shaft. This is one set of nozzle or nozzle and blade. This is another set. This is another set. Here 4 sets I have introduced. 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of nozzle and moving blade. If total enthalpy is consumed from, let us say, here to here, now in 4 stages, some part of enthalpy is utilized here, another part is utilized here, another part is utilized here, and another part is utilized here. So due to enthalpy drop in all 4 stages are properly utilized to have speed not more than this 30,000 rpm, and henceforth we go for compounding. So I think so the matter is so clear to you why we go for compounding. If this whole speed 150 meter 100 so 1500 meter per second and 30,000 rpm, this electrical generator would face a wear and tear effect, and henceforth we utilize whatever thermal energy or pressure energy we can say of steam should be utilized in different stages, and henceforth we go for compounding. So now, what are the types of compounding now? So these types are, first one, starting with velocity compounding. Starting with velocity compounding. So dear students, first you should know example of velocity compounding turbine is Curtis turbine. Example of velocity compounding is Curtis turbine. So now we have to only see the arrangement of velocity compounding. So here is the arrangement of velocity compounding. So arrangement is on a single rotor and wheel. These type of arrangements are made, like say first set is nozzle, then moving blade, fixed blade, and again moving blade. Between two blades, these are the passage given, gap, right? While drawing this arrangement at the same time, very important for all of us to mention about variation of velocity and pressure of steam and even specific volume as well. So let us start with variation of pressure. Variation of pressure is this much. This is your for nozzle. So function of nozzle we know already, to reduce pressure and increase velocity. So pressure reduces, and as we have already seen that there is a constant passage area between two consecutive blades, whether it is a fixed blade or moving blade. This fixed blade is fixed, means fixed with the casing. It doesn't rotate, just properly they are guiding, which is the guiding of steam which is coming from nozzle enters to moving blade, and then properly it is guided by this fixed blade so that it enters to next row of moving blade. So just for proper guiding of fixed blade of steam, fixed blades are mounted which are attached to casing. So here it is about variation. This pressure decreases and at the same time velocity increases. Right now, since there is a constant passage area between two consecutive blades, so therefore there is no any pressure drop, henceforth this pressure is throughout same. Right now, at the same time, the moment steam enters to moving blade, velocity decreases. Why it is so? Since this blade is moving, this blade is moving. In moving, it means there is could be a decrease in velocity, that is from second law of Newton's, that says that rate of change of momentum is your force. So rate of change of momentum m into dv. So there could be a change in velocity to get a force, and henceforth this velocity decreases in moving blade. With help of decreased velocity we get power. Right. Now when it enters to fixed blade, since fixed blade doesn't produce any work, henceforth velocity remains constant. There is a very minor decrease of velocity due to friction occurring between two consecutive blades of fixed blade arrangement. So there could be very minor decrease in velocity here, otherwise remains constant. Again at the same time, when it enters to next set of moving blade, again it produces power, it rotates, and henceforth we get decrease in velocity over here, right? And then finally with this exhaust velocity it goes out. Now the third one is about specific volume. A specific volume line is drawn over here. The specific volume, first steam enters into nozzle. The specific volume increases since there is a expansion, since pressure decreases and henceforth volume increases, right? And then since there is a constant passage area between two consecutive blades, whether it is a moving blade or fixed blade, there is a constant passage area throughout, and henceforth volume remains constant. So this is your profile of specific volume or volume. So I think students, this is clear to all of you. Whenever it is asked in the examination, we have to draw this arrangement and variation of all these three at least: pressure, velocity, and specific volume. So variation of all these three are required. So first you should remember the arrangement and then variation of all these three. Likewise in pressure compound. One thing more, why the word given velocity compounded? Why this word given velocity compounded? So we have seen that there is a variation in velocity only here and here, means velocity of steam is properly utilized. Henceforth we call it velocity compounded. Likewise, if we move to next type, that is pressure compounding, so according to variation of pressure there could be a properly utilized of pressure only. So you see now this is pressure, here there is a pressure, right? If you see the variation and velocity, you see in both stages this velocity and this velocity almost same. So henceforth due to this variation in pressure we call it pressure compounding. So let us go the arrangement of this pressure compounding. So arrangement is nozzle, then a set of moving blade, set of fixed blade which acts as a nozzle, and then set of moving blade. So first steam enters to this nozzle, as we have seen in the previous case. Pressure decreases constant, since there is a constant passage area between two consecutive blades. when it moves to fixed plate, it acts as a nozzle, pressure decreases, and then in the moving blade, since there is a constant passage area, so there is no variation in pressure, and then with this pressure it goes out. Whereas for velocity, same fundamental is applied. Since pressure decreases, so velocity here increases due to Bernoulli's equation. Because Bernoulli says na, that summation of all these three energies should be same. That is three energies are static energy, pressure energy, and kinetic energy. Static energy almost same throughout. Henceforth, there is a direct relationship between these two, pressure and velocity. If pressure decreases, velocity increases. So here we have seen for this nozzle. Now when steam enters to moving blade, since we get work from moving blade, and henceforth there is a decrease in velocity. Right? Again, when it goes to this fixed blade which acts as a nozzle, so velocity increases, pressure decreases, and again when it enters to moving blade, velocity decreases since we get work. There could be, if we apply with this equation, change of momentum, so velocity decreases and we get work. Now come to third is your specific volume. Same fundamental is applied. Pressure decreases, and henceforth volume increases. Right? For moving blade, constant passage area between two consecutive blades, there is no variation in volume. This fixed blade acts as a nozzle, so volume increases. Right? Since this pressure decreases, and henceforth volume increases. Right? Again, moving blade, constant passage area between two consecutive blades, so volume remains constant. So this is about variation of all these three property: volume, pressure, and velocity. So again, you should remember the arrangement of pressure compounding. Arrangement is first nozzle, moving blade, fixed blade, and moving blade. Whereas in velocity compounded, arrangement was first nozzle, then moving blade, fixed blade, and moving blade. So this arrangement you should remember in both cases. Third combination is pressure and velocity compounding. So here there is an arrangement for this pressure and velocity compounding. So arrangement is nozzle, moving blade, fixed blade, and then moving blade, fixed blade, moving blade, fixed blade, moving blade. So from here to here, you see now, moving blade, fixed blade, one set, another set, moving fixed, moving fixed. So you should remember after nozzle, always moving blade, fixed blade, moving blade, fixed blade, moving blade, fixed blade, like this. So easily we can remember like this. After nozzle, there is a set of moving blade and then fixed blade. Alternate again, moving blade, fixed blade, moving blade, fixed blade, like this. So with same concept, we can apply about the variation of specific volume, pressure, and velocity as well. Now, one thing, in comparison with these two turbines, velocity compounding, that is your Curtis turbine, and pressure compounding, efficiency of velocity compounding is less than pressure compounding. Reason is number of stages, if you see, number of stages more in pressure compounding compared to velocity compounding, and if you look at about the variation of pressure, this pressure is utilized here, again this pressure is utilized here. Whatever pressure comes from boiler, if you intend to purchase a boiler, it is always advisable to have a boiler which produces steam at very high value. It means that high pressure steam should be utilized properly to get a maximum work, and henceforth here there is a proper utilization of pressure here and here also, right? So compared to this one, henceforth efficiency of pressure compounding steam turbine is more than compared to velocity compounding. So students, in a next video we will go for velocity diagram of steam turbine.